Hey guys, Ken77 still 171, back with another ATS video. We are in, where the hell are we at? I forgot where the hell we at. Oh, Dubuque. Dubuque, Iowa, and we were running a tanker full of ethanol over here to Junction City. Should be pretty easy, I-80, although we are going to run down this state route the whole way. Might be interesting. Wonder why the hell would you not just run down I-35 over here? I don't know, but we'll follow it because sometimes these state routes are pretty fast, and that seems such an obvious. Maybe because of all the interchanges, it's actually slower because of all the. It's kind of strange. Anyway, this will be a different route, and that's fine. We've already taken I-35 up through here, so it'll be a new road. There weren't a lot of freight options. This was the best paying one that I found in the area, and even when I looked nationwide on the entire map, they only paid a little, maybe 40,000 or 44. Wasn't any big paying loads. So I thought, well, let's do a relatively easy one that was close. I did fly up to Dubuque to grab this. And for a short time, I thought about, I've showed you how to fly around in the map. Thought about flying to each of the major cities just to get them available to pick up freight. And I thought, nah, that's kind of cheating a little bit. I don't mind flying up to flying the short. I could have quick traveled too, but it's flying is free and it was close. Third person flew up there to Dubuque, which we've already been to, so I didn't really care. That's where we dropped our last load. All right, guys, let's get to it. We've not hauled a tanker in this truck before. It's 43,000 pounds, so it's reasonably heavy. Got full tank of fuel. Reset the trip already. This is a neat location. It won't let me go. Why won't it not let me go higher? It won't let me go, like, up and down, like a higher view. That's as high up as it'll go. Weird. We could do the external view, but it's alright. So let me turn that off. Let's recenter and
okay, here we go.
Trips reset. We got full tanks. Truck's cold. So we've got quite a few loads to do before we can change trucks again, because we're out of spaces in our current garage, so we need to buy another garage before we can continue, which kind of sucks, because we only have a couple more trucks that we need to purchase, but we'll have company drivers in that other garage also.
Turn right. Go straight on.
So we're let's just look in here. We're at $173,000. That'll be enough to buy another truck with a little extra. So we just need to add 180,000 to that, basically. So we got a ways to go. It'll take us quite a few loads, you know, unless we can find some really good paying ones. And one of the reasons we're seeing, you know, about 65,000 as the maximum. I'm gonna recenter again, guys. It's a little off. One of the reasons we're seeing 65,000 as about the highest paying load is because of the distance that I've set, with only two marks in the distance option to keep the loads under about 600 miles. That still makes the videos close to an hour, oftentimes, and now one thing we could do if we want to make that our goal is we can move back down towards
left,
Texas.
And then turn left.
Because even if we don't have any higher paying loads in Texas than here,
turn left.
If we ran back and forth across I-20, I-10, I-30, you would you'd be able to do the trips faster because it's just easier to travel across those areas. So I'm going to do a few streams. We are probably not going to get to our goal before I go on vacation. So, because I got to leave basically tomorrow or Thursday. So I got somebody watching the house for me, making sure everything's okay here. And 45, really? Oh, we're not on the highway. I thought we were on the... Yeah, so I'm gonna be, like I said, I have somebody watching the house for me, taking care of my pets. But I'm going to be gone for probably a couple weeks, so... Well, I don't actually know for sure. It's kind of a... Part of it's planned out and the other part of it's not. But, come on, I got on the throttle there and caused it to hesitate on shifting. So yeah, so I just want to let you guys know I won't be streaming for a while. Although maybe I might stream from my vacation. Can do that from mobile. Don't really have a way to stream from the car. That might be interesting, because it's a traveling type vacation. What the hell road are we on? Okay, we're on the interstate. We're not on bad. Once we get over here to 80, we'll have free running for a while. Still wonder why it's not taking us down I-35. Like, at least I-35 and over and down, or I-35 all the way down. It's got to be a reason. This 75 must be a really nice road. I don't know. We'll find out. I don't know. But regardless, it's a new road we haven't taken. So that's always fun. Red Bull here. Anytime you drink something like that, like a can, it really screws up the head tracking. See, I'm thinking that State Route 75 might be like this, where it's 65 or 75, and smooth sailing. What are you doing, dude? Why are you doing that, you dumb fuck? Because that guy was slowing down, which is great, but the AI traffic just really over-responds to road situations. And then sometimes they just hit you because they're stupid and they don't see you at all.
Keep right, and then exit right.
It's something I really hope when they do a total rewrite on the game.
Exit
I really hope they redo the AI traffic. And I really hope they redo the navigation to something that's more realistic. Although realistic navigation is going to take a little time to get used to, because you kind of get used to the way this one works. I don't know what the fuel economy is going to. Here's the I-80 rest area.
Keep left.
I wonder why it won't let you go higher at a higher view. So we still have to find Peterbilt dealer. I may use a little AI to do that when the time comes to figure out where is a Peterbilt dealer. Because so far we haven't run across one. Also, I could go into my other profile and just look. That's just as easy. Just select Peterbilt and see where the closest one is. Wouldn't surprise me if the fuel economy is not amazing pulling a tanker. A lot of aero drag on a tanker. It's not a smooth shape with all the railings and hoses and shit. Really need to go into the settings and get rid of the speedo over there. Sometimes it's really handy and sometimes it's really not. Turbo in this is very quiet. It's kind of a low whistle. Sort of a woo, like that.
Keep left.
Oh, come on, dudes. What are you doing? I'm exiting, so I gotta fucking slow down. There's an exit right there, so I gotta fucking slow down, even though there's nothing there in front of me. I don't know, it's frustrating. So are real people, by the way, driving, because they do the same dumbass shit. See, one thing, I don't see it as much as I used to. My grandmother used to do this a lot. There's a light coming, but it's green, but let me slow down for the green light. So I did a little preliminary vehicle checks yesterday. pop the tires off and rotate them. They were due for rotation, and then reassigned them to their new positions with the programming in the car. Check the tire pressures. Actually, I might double check that because its car's now been in the garage and it's been cold. I might make sure they're the same because they were, when I did it yesterday, the one car had been sitting out in the sun, and it's the one side was shadowed, the other side had sun on it, and you'd be surprised, even just a few minutes sitting out in the sun, and the temperature will be dramatically different on the one side of the car than the other. The pressure will be radically different one side of the car versus the other. Speed limit's back up to 70, and I'm sitting here putzing around. I'll tell you guys, this Volvo is really growing on me. I would say its major issue is I don't love the instrumentation in the center, but it's adequate. Doesn't really matter. And it's just a slightly bit on the boring side, almost because it drives so nice. It's very quiet. The engine has a nice rumble sound, but it's a little on the boring side with no turbo whistle. But at some point we could try some of those other engines, Yeah. Here comes a cop. Come on. It's gonna pull me into the way station. Yes, it is.
Okay, let's find a new route.
There are some very powerful versions
Go straight on.
Of this engine. Oh, not the D13, but
keep left.
Let's see what we weigh. This tank's relatively heavy too, 43,000. Yeah, almost right at gross, 79. Keep in mind, we're still running in economy mode. I try to keep it that way. No, I'm excited. It's been a while since I did a road trip, and kind of looking forward to it. Be the first one in a while.
Keep right.
It's a really nice driving truck. And my phone beeped.
Keep left.
Keep left. Well, this guy's hauling ass up on me. So it's gonna be difficult picking, which truck I like the best. We definitely have our contenders. This one and the International LT are up there. I kind of like them all though. And at some point, you build your company and up, like my other profile, where I've got a couple of full garages full of my own trucks. But that's easy to do when you got like $100 million in the bank. You can kind of build and buy whatever you want. And at this point, in the other profile, it's kind of I've kind of bought every truck there is. There isn't really anything new to try. Certainly, I would build the company out differently this time around. I'd be a little more careful about where I pick my garages for company drivers. To start with, anyway. What are we doing, guys? We're staying on I-80.
Keep right, and then turn right.
We're staying on I-80.
Turn right.
45. You can hear the turbo right there. I did not need to downshift there. Oh, it really shifted rapidly there. A little bit too low. I asked ChatGPT about the low frame rates, and apparently it's kind of a known issue. The newer maps have higher rendering detail, and it causes the frame rate to be lower. It gave me some recommendations. You can lower your lower some things. Here, I'll show you in under graphics. The scaling, which I have set to 300%. It suggested lowering it down to like 150%. Could maybe go down to 200%. It gives you an example here that it makes things look better. So you're going to lower your realism when you do that. The only place I've found the frame rate to be a problem, really, that I noticed it was Iowa, which is the newest map. I didn't notice it in Missouri so much. But, at some point they're going to redo this game. My guess is it'll get more challenging for graphics cards. So, like I said, at some point I really do want to do some kind of an upgrade. It's a lot of money to spend on a gaming computer. And I could put it on a credit card or something like that, but then you're paying it off for a while, and I just don't really want to do that. There is definitely some upward room in this computer. It's an it's an older board. It's an AM4 socket, but there are plenty of good AM4 AMD processors. Not that that's the issue anyway. This is a Ryzen 5 3500X. There are plenty of excellent AM4 sockets. RAM speed, could be faster because DDR4, DDR5 prices are through the roof. That's not really a limitation of the game, though. Not that I've ever seen. So I could do a CPU upgrade and a GPU upgrade. I've got enough overhead in my graphics, in my power supply, got the case, all that stuff. So upgrading just GPU and CPU would be a lot less cheap, would be a lot less money. But there certainly is an advantage to just buying a pre-built system where everything is, you know, matched. Water cooling. So... I've been thinking about a vehicle upgrade too, but probably not going to do that. I don't know. My car's 2020. It's got 125,000 on it, which I've put on it in basically 2 years. They got a new Chevy Bolt that's out now. Looks pretty nice. There's some interior things that are actually worse than my car. Oddly, the 360 camera and the backup camera, they don't use all of the screen real estate in the display panel. They look worse. Like, the resolution's worse and the screen is smaller. The area that you see is smaller than my car. It's kind of weird. Oh, come on. What are you doing? I'm getting off the exit. You can actually see those AI cars hit the brakes, so they kind of go like that. New LFP battery, so you can charge to 100% all the time. A little bit more range than my car. Much faster charging than my car. That would be the major upgrade. I watched a guy do 10 to 80%, and it'll do 10 to 80% in 25 minutes, which is pretty damn good. It holds a nice, solid 150 kilowatts, and even at 80%, it was still pulling.
Keep right, and then turn right.
It was still pulling pretty good speeds. Better actually than its big brother, the Equinox.
Turn right.
And we're going to take I-75 south, which will be over here. Not I-75, but State Route 75. I would probably be inclined to get an Equinox, only because it's a bigger, more comfortable car, nicer suspension, more room in it, and overall has more range by a pretty significant amount. But the charging is not as good. Really what I need is a Tesla Model Y. But I am not spending that kind of money on a car to do rideshare. I'm kind of inclined just to keep what I have and just pile the miles on it and get it paid off and stop working and not upgrade at all. Unless I just wanted a car. The Equinox is a nice car, though. It's a deal, too. Right now, they're doing big money off. You can get a brand new base Equinox for $24,000. Cheaper than the new Bolt EV. Which just makes that a no-brainer. Although the Bolt is better equipped at high 20s. Come on, what are you doing? You know, at high 20s, the Bolt has more features in it than that base Equinox LT, but the Equinox is bigger and more comfortable and has better range. Ultimately, I'll take the more comfortable car over the tech. I mean, the Equinox has all the safety tech, blind spot monitoring, and all that stuff's standard. I think it even has radar cruise, or dynamic cruise control. So, yeah. And I've thought about going back to combustion too. You can buy a brand new Camry hybrid for mid-high 20s. That'd be an excellent car too, but it would double my cost of operations over the electric car. And that's a significant hit. About $3,000 a year, something like that. So, yeah, I really like my little Chevy Bolt. It rides a little bit, not great. Short wheelbase car, so they kind of porpoise when they go over, especially ripply pavement. Over on highways, it's pretty smooth. But a lot of our roads here they're not really potholed. They're just sort of like ripply. And so you kind of end up with a car that kind of goes like that. And you end up kind of bobbleheading inside the car. Okay. By the looks of it, we should have taken I-35 and run across. Could be wrong. It's only 160 miles to go, though. And then the speed limit's going to drop to 45. As we go through a town with a stoplight.
Go straight on.
25, seriously.
Keep right, and then continue straight on. Go straight on.
Oh, man, my left shoulder hurts. Yesterday or the day before, when I was changing the tire or doing something, I tweaked it funny. Take the opportunity to get a drink. I don't know. Just like real life. 15 cars sitting at this interchange. No one at the cross street, and we have the fucking red light and then the green arrow for the turn lane that no one is fucking sitting in. Shit like that really, this is where I hope AI someday really helps. Some of the traffic light, I mean, it's probably just basic timing. But even around here where there are intersections that have cameras, the behavior is just like this. Like the cameras aren't even on.
Go straight on.
Now we're at 8 miles per gallon. Pretty good. Glad to see they have real advertising in the game and names of real companies. There's a mod for that too, which I actually don't know if I have turned on or not.
Go straight on.
Might try removing it. Removing mods is a good idea if you don't need them. They complicate the game load. They slow the loading of the game. The fewer mods you can run, the better. And if by default it's got the proper signage in there, you'd be better off just to let it do that. I always wondered why they didn't work out an agreement. I mean, if you're Super 8 or one of these other companies, why would you not want your name advertised in a video game? Like I mean, it's free. Just like they pay to have real road signs, you're paying for people to see your name. Like it's a no-brainer. I'm just surprised somebody didn't take advantage of that a lot sooner.
Keep left. Keep right.
We don't need fuel. We don't need anything. Situations like this right here is where this truck is really quiet. Just coasting along on level ground. That was certainly the case in real life too. That Volvo, I drove a Volvo VNL for a couple years. It was a really nice truck. It's very quiet. It wasn't the most reliable thing. It was Cummins ISX. One year I think I went through 4 EGR coolers or valves or both. I don't know. And I had a transmission issue. It was a Eaton Super 10. And they're kind of known to be a little problematic, but it was a wiring harness issue. So I was sleeping about 3 o'clock in the morning at a truck stop in the rain, and all of a sudden the air horn starts blaring. I had no idea what the hell was going on. I didn't even know it was my truck at first. And got up, and I'm like, of course the air horn's electric, so you press the button, the air horn was, oh shit. Why the hell did that happen? Somehow I tapped the parking brake button. It's not that. What the hell?
Keep right.
Wow, that was bizarre. I must have bumped it with my finger right there. For a minute I thought that was a button, but it's not. So yeah, I hit the air horn in the Volvo is which I hate, is this. I'd much rather have the pull string and have this be the city horn. Because a lot of times you need to honk while you're steering. It's just a bad combination. It's not the way to do it. So there was no way for me to turn the air horn off. Where like my old Freightliner and a lot of new Freightliners, they have the pull string. It's an actual mechanical valve, or I guess it could be an electric switch up there underneath the string. I don't know. But yeah, I couldn't turn it off. That's a hardwired situation. So even with the engine turned off, it was still just blaring and blaring. So the only thing I could do was to dump the air out of the truck, which is what I did. I just pressed the brakes really hard over and over and over again until I bled all the air off to make the air horn stop. Nah, it was really strange. It was a short circuit in a wiring harness somewhere, and in the morning I had noticed that it didn't want to, it was giving me a transmission code or something. You know what, we're just going to blow the scale, guys. We already scaled. Yeah, pretty strange failure, very embarrassing. Other than that, the Super 10 was an easy truck. It was an easy transmission. It's kind of a mixture of 18 speed and 10 speed. It's got a little flip switch and the high-low and the I can't remember now. It just had the high-low. It had the splitter on the side. I don't think it had the high-low switch. So you would rev it up in first, flip the switch forward, let off the throttle, it would go to second. And then rev it up, flip it back down, shift. Rev it up, flip, next gear. Rev it up, flip down, next gear. It worked like that. So you ended up having to, instead of, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, high side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you only had to move your arm 5 times for 10 gears, and the rest of it was with the little splitter on the side. So it was definitely less physical work. And then also it had a top 2 option. So
Keep
9
right,
and 10,
right.
9 and 10 were automatic. So on the highway, you could just set the cruise control, and if it started to climb a low hill, a sloping hill, it would just drop between 9 and
Keep
10,
right,
9th and 10th
and then
gear.
turn right.
without you having to do anything. So the highway
Turn
work,
right.
the highway work was way less.
Keep left, and then turn left.
Also had a 600 horsepower engine brake.
Turn left.
So I could go down any hill fully loaded, 8% grade on I-81. You would set the cruise control to whatever speed you wanted. And turn on the engine brake.
Turn right.
And it would manage the engine brake and your cruise control speed. So you could just set the cruise at 50 miles an hour or whatever the speed limit was down the hill and do nothing. You didn't have to touch the brakes. You didn't have to do anything. It would just, when it got to like 3 miles an hour or 5 miles an hour over your set speed, it would progressively add more engine brake, slow you back down to like 3 to 5 under your set speed, and then release. So you would just hover in that like 3 to 5 mile per hour window, and you didn't have to do a damn thing. Fully loaded, 80,000 pounds down at 8% grade, never have to touch the brakes. It really took a lot of stress off mountain driving, the way it behaved.
We are here.
Can't believe we got here before dark. Where are we going? It's going to be right over here somewhere. I wonder why we're taking a truckload of alcohol. This is ethanol. It's a smithy field. Oh, that's cool. Look, it is actually it's not just, we're not just dumping it into a dock. We're actually putting it into a liquid facility there. That's cool. I'm glad to see that. There's too much of that shit goes on in this game too, where you're putting the wrong kind of freight in the wrong kind of dock. It's a little unrealistic. You'd be dropping like a road grader or something at a dock. Didn't quite get the mark. Almost. Close. There's a slight difference in the way the digital mirror up there and the physical mirror look. They don't quite have the same. And notice how it moves. The digital mirror moves a little bit with your head. See how it moves there? A little bit. Some of the trucks do that, some of them don't. Alright guys, that'll be it. Ended up being a 45-minute video, so maybe a little longer than I was expecting. I might stream again later. I got someplace to go. and then I want to start working on getting things arranged. Most of the stuff I need for road tripping, I have in a big bin ready to go. I just need to sort through it and get it positioned in the vehicle and all that shit. And have I want to make a checklist of make sure I don't forget anything that I might need. I want to get halfway down the highway and be like, oh shit, I forgot, something important that you can't just purchase. All right, guys, that'll be it. Ken77 Stowe signing off. Be safe out there. Have yourself a good day. And next week, have a um, happy St. Patrick's Day too. Be safe out there. Make sure you don't drink and drive. Be safe. Take care, guys.